So I've been a bit embarrassed to make this video, to be honest with you, because I guess on social media, you see everyone succeed. You see everyone that takes the risk, that doesn't fail, or if they did, they barely ever talk about it. But I did fail. I took the risk everyone tells you to take, and just to make it crystal clear, I'd do it all fucking again in a heartbeat. But this time, I'd do it with the lessons that I'm about to give you in this video, and the reason that I'm making it is so that you don't make the same fucking mistakes that I did. Because if I knew what I was about to tell you, I 100% would have succeeded, or at least got a lot damn closer. First, I just want to give a shout out to my sister, who, since I came back, she's taken me in and taken great care of me. So if you ever watch this, I truly do love you, so thank you. But I guess I'll start with why I did leave. Because I went to university, I failed, I was drinking, doing drugs, and partying all the time. And then fitness completely, fundamentally changed my life, right? I got in shape, stopped drinking, stopped doing drugs, stopped partying, and won a couple bodybuilding shows, and I genuinely wanted to help other people make the same transformation that I did. And doing all that gave me the confidence to be able to move overseas. So no matter what it is that you think that you want, the risk that you want to take, if you think that you can, right? I want to make that fundamentally clear, is that I would do it all again in a fucking heartbeat. But this time, what I'd do differently is, first off, number one, is when you go, when you take the risk, whether it be to change careers, start the business, whatever it is that you have to understand, and I wish I knew this, I promise you, the goal sets the conditions on who you have to become. And what I mean by that is that if you were capable of achieving the goal that you'd set out, you would have already achieved it, right? So let's say you want to start a business, let's say, or you want a new career, a new job title, or a promotion. That thing sets the conditions on the skills and the person that you have to become in order to achieve it. And what I mean by that is that when I left, right, I'd made a heap of progress. I'd done the lifestyle. I mean, I'd accomplished so many things that so many people would want to do, like giving up drinking, like giving up drugs, like partying, and then losing a ton of weight. And I'd moved my lifestyle. But what I wasn't willing to do was I wasn't willing to change the habits. I wasn't willing to showcase the lifestyle that I'd probably earned. And because of that, it cost me everything, right? I wasn't willing to show off, or I wasn't willing to show the desired outcome of who I was. And so my ego, in terms of the mindset, grind, hustle culture that like everyone talks about, the David Goggins, all that bullshit that we listen to, it got in my own way, because I'd earned the right by that point to showcase the lifestyle, but I didn't change in order to achieve my goal. And hopefully you can extrapolate this to whatever it is that you want, right? Like, if you want a new career, you want a new job, whatever it is, you have to be the man worthy of obtaining that, right? And if you were, then you would already have the goal. So you have to learn the new skills in alignment with what it is that you want. And the beautiful thing is that you don't even have to think about that much, right? The goal sets the conditions. All you have to understand, and that's lesson number 2 that I really fucking wish I knew, was that just like making your coffee in the morning, you know exactly the hot water, you know exactly how much coffee, you know exactly how much milk, whatever it is, however your coffee is, you know exactly the crystal clear, with clarity every single morning, subconsciously, what it is that you want to feel, how it makes you feel, the end outcome of what that coffee is to taste like. And your goal is no fucking different, right? But the problem is with humans, and what happened with me, is that I didn't know exactly what I wanted. I didn't know the income that I wanted. It's the same thing. If you want a new job, like, what job do you want, right? If you want to start a new business, what business do you actually want to start? What problem are you actually solving? And when you get crystal clear clarity on what it is that you want, then everything else genuinely becomes so much fucking easier. But I didn't do it. And I'll give you a little story to explain. And the reason I get so passionate about it is because I was such a fucking retard. Right? I was such an idiot. Like, for example, if I wanted 5 clients, make $5,000 a month, which would have been fine living in Bali, like, because it was super cheap. All I had to do was sign 5 people per month at $1,000. When you start to reverse engineer your goal, when you're thinking from your goal, it makes life so much easier. It's like, when you have the goal, you can then become the identity. You can learn the skills, and then you get the goal as a byproduct of becoming the man worthy of having the goal, right? And it makes so much more sense when I say it like this now. But if I had known this at the start, I would have been like, holy fuck, that makes so much more sense. So please, no matter what risk you're taking, make sure you have an end goal in mind and you know exactly what it is that you're trying to accomplish. Because like when you go to the supermarket, you know exactly what it is that you want to buy and you buy it. Your goal is no different, right? You don't have to know just how yet, but you do have to know what it is that you want and what you're trying to achieve. And then the how will start to unfold pretty damn quickly because there's a million different ways, right? But that'd be number 2. And the reason I bring this up is because when I was over there about 2 months in, I was sticking to the old habits that I used to have and wasn't showing the lifestyle, didn't shift my identity and what the goal needed me to be in order for me to achieve it. And I was talking to a guy over there, his name was Mo. And if you ever watch this, Mo, thank you. You changed my perspective and you made me really start to understand the mind and how it works. Because I guess this number 3 would be how fucking important it is to have belief in yourself in achieving the goal. Like, it's the most fundamental thing, because he asked me one question. He asked me, when are you leaving? And I said, I've got 6 months until I run out of money. And in that very moment, it might sound subtle, but I was subconsciously telling myself that I was going to run out of money. And when you're acting from a place of like failure, or you're acting from a place of scarcity, if you're acting from a place of lack, if you're acting from a place of anxiety, stress, your actions start to unfold and manifest that. And that's what the law of attraction really is, right? Law of attraction doesn't just have to be a good thing like most people say it is, because it's not, right? You can attract more scarcity, more lack, more anxiety, more stress when you start to act these things out. And basically what happens is, because of that, I was believing that I was going to fail, and that was leading me to act from all these places of lack, of scarcity, of anxiety, of stress, etc. And because of that, it just like, it made it impossible for me to get out of that mindset, right? So when you go all in, when you take the risk, you have to let go of the idea that it's a risk, right? And what I mean by that is, when you go and, like, let's say you brush your teeth in the morning, you don't think about it, you don't try to do it, you just do it, right? When you go to get in your car to go to work, or when you go to start the business, or when you go to do whatever it is that you do every single day as almost like a habit, you don't think about it, you don't try do it, you don't try brush your teeth, you don't try make your coffee, you just do it. And you have to view that your goal that you've just set out, you have to just do it. And what I mean by that is, you don't try do it, you do it. I don't try make this video, I make the video, right? You have to make these things like a habit and ingrained into your mind that this is what's happening, this is how it's going to happen, this is who I need to become, and I'm doing it. I'm not trying to do it, I'm doing it, right? Because when you say I'm trying, you give any chance of failure to come up, and you start acting from scarcity, from doubt, from anxiety, from stress, etc., etc. When you go for the new job, you tell yourself, I'm good enough for this job, right? When you go to start the business, I'm starting the business. I'm not trying a business, I'm starting the business. When I'm moving overseas to go all in, I'm moving overseas to go all in. I'm not trying, I'm doing it, right? When you set this concrete goal in stone, and the reason I'm so passionate about this, and sorry if I'm yelling, but the reason I'm so passionate about it is because you have to go all the way in, right? And the last thing that I will bring up is number 4, is the universe is very giving to what you want. And you might not think that's the case, but like I said, when you wake up and you want the coffee, you get up, you go do it, and it's done, right? The universe is no different. Your goal is no different. The universe doesn't understand big or small. And I want to, like, I'll try to use this tree, for example. Like the one beside it, like, the universe doesn't give a fuck if it's a bigger or smaller tree. Like, it's just a tree, right? And your goal's no different. It's like, you go make a coffee in the morning, all that's different is that you have to take different actions in order to achieve the goal that you want to achieve, right? And that's all it is. When you know exactly what you want, the identity that you have to become, whatever the third one was, your mindset towards it, you have to act as if your goal's already accomplished. Then and only then will the universe give it to you, right? Just like when you know the coffee is going to give you that certain feeling in the morning. Just when you know that you're brushing your teeth and, you know, you feel the cleanliness after you've done it. When you go to the supermarket and you know that you're going to be full because you're going to eat dinner, right? Your goal is trying to give you a feeling. That's the only reason us humans, we set goals, is because we want to feel a certain way, right? So if you want to make a certain amount of money, it's because you want to feel a bit more free. And then if you ask yourself, why do I want to feel more free? Well, it's probably going to come to the answer, it's like, I wasn't so free when I was young because my parents didn't have as much money, right? Anytime that we set a goal, we're trying to set a certain feeling. Anytime that we want to eat, it's because we feel hungry, right? We're trying to fulfill that need of feeling hungry, right? Your goal is no different. But the beautiful part about this is, once you know exactly what it is that you want, who you need to become to get it, you think from your goal as if it's already done, right? You feel the emotion. You may not know that it's actually already done, but you can feel the emotion as if it already is done right now. Would you feel grateful? Would you feel excited? Would you feel love? Would you feel joy? Would you feel a certain way upon achieving the goal? And then it will come to you. If you're thinking from your goal, you're acting as if. That's why they say be, do, have, right? Be, do, have, right? You have to be the person in order to achieve the goal, right? Be it the feeling, that's what it means when they say be, human being, right? You be it, and then you do, right? You do the actions, and then you will have it, right? You be the feeling, you do the actions, and then you have it. So it all really comes down to what it is that you want, which sounds fucking stupidly obvious, but you have to know crystal clear clarity, what it is that you're trying to accomplish, and then you can reverse engineer the goal pretty damn easily, right? You feel the feeling, and then you become he who can achieve the goal. You learn the skills, and then and only then will it happen for you, right? We don't achieve goals, we achieve characters. It's a great quote. Charlie Morgan said it, but I think he got it from someone else. So whoever did quote that, thank you. But I get really passionate about this because if I had known all that, I wouldn't have fucked up so bad. I wouldn't be where I am, but that's fine because I know it now, and I'm going to do self-transcendence, show you guys all the evidence and blah, blah, blah later on. But I really do hope this helped you because if I'd known all of that, it would have changed my fucking life. And shout out again to my sister. I love you with a passion. You really saved me from a really dark place. I've been through a dark place lately because of all this, but that's fine. I'm back, and I'm better than ever. So yeah, and Mo also shout out. Thank you very much. Yeah, love you guys. Subscribe if you want, or if you don't, then that's fine.